What is one of the healthiest rituals you perform every single day? For millions of seniors, it's that final step in the bathroom. The minty antiseptic rinse with mouthwash. It's the feeling of clean, the feeling of killing germs, the feeling that your dentist told you to do for gum health. It feels responsible. It feels sterile. But what if I told you that this daily ritual, this healthy habit, is a metabolic landmine? What if that bottle of blue or green liquid, which you associate with health, is one of the single biggest, most ignored contributors to the #1 silent killer of seniors? What if your mouthwash is directly linked to high blood pressure? This sounds impossible. It sounds like a conspiracy. What could rinsing your mouth possibly have to do with the pressure inside your arteries? The connection, as doctors are now shockingly discovering, is invisible. It's silent, and it has to do with an invisible, magical gas that your body must produce every single second to stay alive, a gas that your mouthwash may be systematically destroying. Over the course of this video, we are going to expose this shocking biological link. We're going to deconstruct why this healthy habit is so dangerous, and we're going to reveal the profound, life-altering health changes that begin to happen almost immediately when you stop this simple daily ritual. So, to understand the solution, we must first understand the real problem. And the problem is not germs. The problem is that we have been taught that all germs are bad. We have been living in a culture of sterilization. We want to nuke every bacteria in our path, and the #1 weapon in our arsenal is that bottle of antiseptic mouthwash. It is a bomb. And like all bombs, it is indiscriminate. It does not care about good guys or bad guys. It kills everything. And this is the catastrophic mistake, because living on your tongue right now is an army, a beneficial army of good bacteria that has one specific critical job, a job that is essential to your survival, a job that no other part of your body can do. These bacteria are not your enemy, they are your guardians. They are the gatekeepers to your cardiovascular health, and every single time you use that antiseptic mouthwash, you are carpet bombing your own army. You are killing your own guardians. And in our next block, I'm going to reveal what this army does, what this invisible, magical gas is, and how killing this army with mouthwash forces your blood pressure to rise. This is the shocking link that doctors are finally beginning to understand. I'm curious, how long have you been using mouthwash? Is it a daily habit? Something you've done for 10, 20, or even 50 years? Share it in the comments below.
So we've established the clear and present danger. You have a guardian army of good bacteria living on your tongue, and your daily, healthy antiseptic mouthwash is a bomb that is annihilating them. So what is this shocking link? What is this one critical job that this army performs? The answer is that these specific bacteria are essential for your body's production of nitric oxide. Now, you may have heard of nitric oxide, NO. It is one of the most important molecules in the human body. It is a vasodilator, which is a fancy way of saying it is the master signal that tells your blood vessels to relax, to widen, and to open up. When you have plenty of nitric oxide, your blood flows easily, your circulation is fantastic, and your blood pressure is low and healthy. When you don't have enough nitric oxide, your blood vessels constrict, they become stiff and narrow. Your heart has to force the blood through these pinched tubes, and your blood pressure skyrockets. This is the source of hypertension. It is a nitric oxide deficiency. So, where do these good bacteria on your tongue come in? This is the shocking biology that doctors are just now beginning to understand. You get nitric oxide from two pathways. Pathway A is inside your blood vessels, the eNOS pathway. And as we age, this pathway becomes old, rusty, and inefficient. It just stops working well. This is why blood pressure naturally rises as we age. Our primary pathway is broken. But we have a backup plan, a bypass pathway, and this is pathway B. This pathway starts not in your blood, but with the food you eat, specifically healthy green leafy vegetables like spinach, beets, and kale. These foods are loaded with compounds called nitrates. Now, you've been told nitrates are bad, but dietary nitrates from plants are life-saving. When you eat these nitrates, they cannot be used by your body. Yet, They must first be converted into nitrites. And guess who performs this one essential conversion? You guessed it, the good bacteria living on your tongue. They are the only ones who can do it. So, the healthy process is this. Step 1, you eat spinach. Step 2, the nitrates in the spinach mix with your saliva. Step 3, the good army on your tongue eats these nitrates and poops out nitrites. Step 4, you swallow that nitrite-rich saliva. And step 5, in your acidic stomach, those nitrites are instantly converted into life-saving nitric oxide, which is then absorbed into your blood, relaxes your blood vessels, and lowers your blood pressure. This backup pathway is your body's fail-safe. It is the one thing that is supposed to save you when your primary pathway breaks down with age. This is the shocking link. That antiseptic mouthwash, that healthy ritual, it kills the good bacteria on your tongue. It annihilates the only army that can perform step 3. It breaks your one and only backup plan. It shuts down your entire dietary pathway for producing nitric oxide. This is why doctors are shocked. Studies have shown that using antiseptic mouthwash just twice a day can decimate these bacteria, stop this conversion, and cause a measurable, significant rise in blood pressure in as little as 1 week. That is the inversion. The healthy habit you are doing to clean your mouth is directly contributing to the #1 silent killer by destroying your body's own built-in blood pressure solution. That is the first profound change. And I know that constant worry about your numbers is a terrible burden. It's a daily source of stress. And this new information can be overwhelming. But it also shows there are natural pathways to support your health. And on that note, there's some fascinating research from heart-healthy Spanish villages that combines some of nature's most potent ingredients to support your body's cardiovascular system naturally. It's an approach that works with your body to help you stop that constant worry about your numbers. I've placed a link to this unique approach in the first pinned comment for anyone who is tired of the worry and wants to feel that freedom again. Because this simple mouthwash trick stops the damage, and supporting your heart is the next logical step. But this is just the first effect. We've only talked about blood pressure. We haven't even talked about the second victim of this sterile habit. What if killing your mouth's good army also breaks your metabolism? What if it's also the hidden link to type 2 diabetes? In our next block, I'm going to reveal this second hidden connection, the one that links your mouth to your insulin.
We have just uncovered the first, profound, and shocking transformation. Your healthy antiseptic mouthwash is a bomb that kills the good army on your tongue, which breaks your one and only backup plan for producing nitric oxide, the magical gas that relaxes your blood vessels, and as a direct result, your blood pressure rises. This alone is a complete game changer, but I promised you it was just the beginning, because we've only talked about your plumbing, your blood vessels. We haven't even talked about your fuel system. What is the other great epidemic facing seniors? It's type 2 diabetes, or insulin resistance. And this is the second victim of your mouthwash. This brings us to the second shocking health change, the one that doctors are just beginning to link: the restoration of your metabolic health, or insulin sensitivity. Now, why is this change so shocking? It's shocking because of the greatest inversion in all of metabolic health. For decades, what have we been told is the cause of insulin resistance? We've been told it's sugar and carbohydrates. And it's true, excess sugar is a huge part of the problem, but what if that's not the whole story? What if the real problem is not just the fuel, the sugar, but a broken fuel gauge and a locked fuel tank? What if your body's ability to process that sugar is broken? And what if mouthwash is the wrench that broke it? This is the new science. Let's look at the biology. What is insulin resistance? It's not a sugar disease, it's a communication disease. Think of your muscle cells as a giant fuel tank for the sugar, glucose, you eat. And that fuel tank has a locked door. When you eat, your pancreas releases insulin, which is the key. Insulin travels to the muscle cell, unlocks the door and allows the sugar to leave the blood and enter the cell to be stored as fuel. This clears your blood sugar and everything is healthy. But, and this is the shocking part, insulin does not work alone. It's just the key. It cannot turn the lock by itself. It needs a signal inside the cell. It needs a doorman to respond to the key and open the door. That doorman is a transporter called GLUT4. And what is the signaling molecule that tells the doorman to come to the surface and open the door? You guessed it, nitric oxide. That's the secret. Nitric oxide is not just a vasodilator for your arteries. It is a foundational, critical, non-negotiable signaling molecule in your muscles. It is the essential link in the insulin signaling cascade. So, when you have plenty of NO, your muscles are sensitive. Insulin arrives, NO transmits the signal, the doorman, GLUT4, opens the door, and the sugar rushes in. Your blood sugar drops, and your metabolism is perfect. Now, let's see what happens when you use that mouthwash. Step 1, you use the mouthwash. Step 2, you annihilate the good army on your tongue. Step 3, you eat your healthy spinach salad, but the nitrates are useless. Your backup pathway for NO production is broken. Step 4, as you get older, your primary NO pathway in your blood vessels is already broken. So now your total body NO levels plummet. Step 5, you eat a piece of toast. Insulin, the key, rushes to your muscle cell. But there is no nitric oxide. There is no signal. The doorman, GLUT4, never gets the message. He stays in the back room. The door stays locked. And the sugar is trapped in your bloodstream. This is insulin resistance. Your pancreas, panicking at the high blood sugar, shouts. It screams by pumping out more and more insulin. This is called hyperinsulinemia. That is the shocking link. Your healthy mouthwash is destroying the very molecule, NO, that allows your muscles to hear the signal from insulin. That is why doctors are amazed. They have been screaming at patients to stop eating sugar, which is one part of the problem, but they never thought to ask, are you also destroying your body's ability to process that sugar by killing your oral microbiome? This is the inversion. This is the ignored truth. So, we have fixed your plumbing, blood pressure, and we have fixed your fuel system, insulin. This is already a new life. But what about the command center? What about the most NO-dependent, most energy-hungry organ in your entire body? What if this same NO deficiency is also the hidden source of brain fog, memory loss, and cognitive decline? In our final block, I'm going to reveal this hidden conversation and how this simple oral habit can starve your brain.
We have now established two revolutionary, life-altering, and ignored connections. First, your healthy antiseptic mouthwash is a bomb that kills the good army on your tongue, which breaks your one and only backup plan for producing nitric oxide, the magical gas that relaxes your blood vessels. And as a direct result, your blood pressure rises. Second, we discovered that this same NO deficiency is a hidden driver of insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, because NO is the essential doorman signal that allows your muscles to hear insulin and open their doors to sugar. Without it, your doors stay locked and your blood sugar rises. This is already a new life, a new understanding of health. But I promised you a third, and perhaps most terrifying connection. What about the command center? What about the most energy-hungry, most blood flow-dependent, and most sensitive organ in your entire body? What if this same NO deficiency is also the hidden source of brain fog, memory loss, and cognitive decline? This brings us to the third shocking health change, the restoration of your cognitive function. Now, why is this change so shocking? It's shocking because of the greatest, most tragic disconnect in all of medicine. The silo mistake. We have neurologists for the brain, cardiologists for the heart,
and dentists for the mouth. And they do not talk to each other. We never imagine that the bomb we are putting in our mouth is starving our brain. We blame aging for brain fog. We blame genetics for memory loss. We never suspect our mouthwash. But this is the shock that doctors are now discovering. The link is direct, and it's a two-part assault. Assault number 1, the plumbing problem, starving the brain of oxygen. Your brain, while only 2% of your body weight, consumes a massive 20% of your body's oxygen and blood flow. It is intensely vascular, a dense forest of tiny, delicate blood vessels. And what is the master signal that opens these vessels, that allows this life-giving blood, oxygen, and nutrients to flow? Nitric oxide. NO is the only thing that relaxes and widens those tiny cerebral arteries. It is the gatekeeper of your cognitive energy. So what happens when you use that mouthwash and your total body NO levels plummet? Those tiny vessels in your brain no longer get the signal to relax. They constrict, they tighten, they narrow. This is called cerebral hypoperfusion, and it is the physical state of brain fog. It is not in your head. It is not just feeling tired. It is the physical, measurable starvation of your brain cells. They are not getting enough oxygen. They are not getting enough nutrients. They cannot fire properly. They cannot think fast. That is brain fog. It is an energy crisis caused by bad plumbing. And this is the inversion. Doctors have been obsessed with cholesterol, plaque blocking the pipes, but they completely ignored how mouthwash, low NO, constricts the pipes. Assault number 2, the fuel problem, starving the brain of sugar. This is the double whammy. Remember in part 3 we learned that low NO causes insulin resistance in your muscles? Well, it also causes insulin resistance in your brain. Your brain cells also need that NO doorman signal to open their own doors to glucose, sugar, which is their primary fuel. So the mouthwash creates a nightmare scenario. First, it constricts the pipes, assault number 1, so less fuel even arrives at the brain. Second, the fuel that does manage to arrive cannot get in because the brain cell doors are locked due to the same NO deficiency. This is the terrifying state that scientists are now calling type 3 diabetes or Alzheimer's disease. Your brain cells are literally drowning in a sea of toxic, inflammatory, high-glucose blood, but starving to death because they cannot eat it. That is memory loss. That is cognitive decline. That is the shocking, ignored link. Your oral habit is starving and suffocating your brain. So let's bring it all back. Let's look at the total transformation. This is the circularity. This is the answer to the question we asked at the very beginning. That healthy antiseptic rinse was the problem. It was the bomb that set off a chain reaction of systemic collapse. That is why doctors are shocked. That is why you were sick. When you stop this healthy ritual, everything changes. Your blood pressure changes because you restore your body's backup plan for nitric oxide, change 1. Your metabolism changes because your muscles can finally hear insulin again and open their doors to sugar, change 2. And your brain changes because you stop suffocating, vasoconstriction, and starving your brain cells, change 3. This is the simple, ignored truth. The key to your cardiovascular, metabolic, and cognitive health is not in a pill bottle. It is living on your tongue. And your only job is to stop killing it. And if this message, if this new perspective on your oral health has empowered you today, then please hit that subscribe button. Our entire mission is to uncover these simple, ignored truths that give you back control. Because now that you understand what not to do, kill your oral army, in our next video, we are going to explore the how. We'll reveal the 5 specific foods, like arugula, beets, and spinach, that feed this NO army and naturally boost your nitric oxide levels starting today.